Assalamualaikum everybody, I'm Zubair, and I am the Saudi person that Mr. Faraz mentioned, and I work as a data support manager at Merku, that too remotely, hence I feel like I can contribute something for this topic as well. So I hope you guys are jotting down some mental notes or physical notes as well, just to see if there's anything I can help you with at the QA session as well. So an overview of what we'll cover in this session essentially will be to understand how remote work works and leverage your specific skills on that on like any remote job that's possible. Going forward, you'll notice that there are some limitations to online working at this time because there's some things that are just not possible online, and generally you have to be physically present. But at the same time, there are tools you can leverage, there are skills you can develop yourselves and navigate platforms that can give you a diverse set of opportunities going forward as well. We'll also be talking about productivity and job security, and then Mr. Muntasar will be talking about remote work in tech, and Mr. Baseeruddin will be going specifically for engineering students as well. So Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So understanding remote work. Remote work can come in a couple of different ways. So it could either be working outside a traditional office, meaning you have a shared space that you're using, but then it could also mean working directly from your home and from places that just have internet access, to be honest. You just need that, and you just need to be approved in a setting that allows you to remote work. This all happened.
A different slide?
I'm on understanding remote work.
Yeah, we're not seeing that.
Sorry, give me just 1 second.
Now we see it because I think when you're in presentation mode or something.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. So if it's all good, I can just work off of this as well. Okay, great. So essentially what happened was a disaster happened. 2020 COVID hit, and people had to figure out solutions on how to go forward, and one of those solutions happened to be remote work. And for that, again, we're extremely saddened by what happened, but we're extremely grateful for the new opportunities that came about from that very tragic situation. But that's kind of how evolution works. Stuff hits, and then you need to make other stuff work. And that's pretty much how remote work and remote education as well came into about. And we were, myself included, I was one of the first people within university who was going through remote working and then remote jobs as well. So what are the benefits of remote working? Number one, you get flexibility to work out of your home. There's global opportunities, and I can say that myself as well because I work for a Canadian firm, but I'm sitting in Saudi Arabia, and I was hired out of Pakistan. So there's a bunch of things happening there as well. And then, of course, there's somewhat better work-life balance, and that's something that you need to kind of maintain by yourselves. Hopefully my slides are still showing for everybody. I'm on the next one.
Yes, the benefits of remote work. We're good. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So now for students, because a lot of you will be within university even now, and a lot of you might be on the verge of graduating, I would highly suggest that you start finding work and start looking at internships as well for those that are currently in university, because with remote work, you can actually manage your studies and work simultaneously, because a lot of the interns and a lot of the co-op programs, as we can say, they give a lot of leverage to students that, you can work maybe after your studies, after your classes, you can work on the weekends, and that really helps you develop a portfolio and give you a competitive edge once you're out, once you're graduated. So that's something that is a benefit of remote work. Number two, again, you'll gain great experience while still working in university, while still studying at university. And then number three, there's, of course, the very obvious question that we're all, thinking about, which is income. So just to give you a little bit of an idea, income in remote work tends to be very different and very competitive in a very different sense, because A, you're not relocating anywhere. B, you're not commuting, right? So you're not going to be able to ask for those benefits, but you'll start earning right from your home, where you're not going to need a lot of extra material. You're not going to need a lot of extra support. So that's something that, of course, is great for a lot of, different demographics. So doesn't have to apply only to men, but women as well find working a lot more comfortable from their home. That would be because in a lot of settings, it's still predominantly male-based, and for women, it's a bit uncomfortable to go out. But at the same time, if you're anyone, doesn't matter where you're coming from, what you're doing, remote work can really benefit you. And of course, for employers, if any one of you out there are planning to be business owners or planning to be businessmen, it's an access to a wider talent pool. You can really be competitive in the amount, in the quality of talent that you're going to be gaining for yourself while looking for all of these students that are going to be working online, or non-students as well, graduates. And again, cost saving for office space and utilities for employers as always. Now, how to identify and leverage your skills. So there has to be a level of self-assessment that goes into almost everything in life, but of course that goes into this specific position as well, where you're going to have to identify your strengths and your skills. One thing that I always kind of discuss is when you're doing remote work, your communicability is very important. And for your communicability, you really have to work hard at, talking to people in person, but then also looking at resources online that can help you develop your soft skills over the time. And then of course, technical skills, you're going to have to improve as well to adapt them to be working online. A lot of universities in Pakistan that similarly for me as well, a lot of our work is not done online still. A lot of the work, a lot of the studying we do is from physical books and on physical papers. That's how we have our exams. But you need to understand that to have technical skills online, you're going to have to work towards it separately. And you're going to have to find resources that can better accommodate you online as well. So number one, self-assessment. And then number two would be adapting your skills for remote work. How to tailor your skills for remote jobs. That's something that you're going to see time and time again when you're looking for jobs online. And then you're going to have to, again, develop some aspects of your life that are not maybe taught at university. So for example, great tools these days have to do with presentation and all of that. So you're going to have to learn along with your engineering knowledge and along with your coursework, you're going to have to study how to work on, let's say, Power BI, let's say Tableau. These tools are really being used in the modern day online to really help leverage your engineering skills as well. So a common example of remote jobs in Pakistan are in software development. This is a bit different from engineering, but a lot of the software engineering students and the CS students can probably recognize this, that software development is on the rise, AI is on the rise. And for these jobs, honestly, you don't need to be in the offices. You can really look forward to better competitive positions online and then abroad as well. You can definitely work for better companies, bigger companies remotely as well. Then there's the common content writing and digital marketing as well. Again, anything that needs to be displayed online, that can be worked on online, can essentially be a remote job, but these are just some examples that there are. Now, what are some effective platforms for remote jobs and freelance gigs? So some freelancing gigs, the reason why I wanted to add freelance here as well is because it's been going on for a longer period of time, but now we're starting to recognize the effectiveness of switching from a freelance job to remote job. So a lot of the students, a lot of graduates, I would highly suggest going on Upwork, Fiverr, or Freelancer to start working on projects and start developing your CV, even if you're not in a traditional job position at the moment. This can really help you develop your CV, your resume, your skills going forward, but then it'll also help you in general for even physical jobs. So some remote job boards are Remote Co and Flex Jobs. They're great for looking at jobs that are traditionally out of Pakistan. And what happens is usually that the employer tends to be in the North Americas or in Europe, and then they'll hire people from Pakistan because of their skills, because of the monetary difference sometimes as well. But at the same time, it's a great position to go on these websites. Some local opportunities that you can really explore are Rosie and LinkedIn. So, and Monster as well. Monster has a great domestic base within Pakistan that can really help you to find remote roles over there. So what to look at when applying for remote jobs? So there's a lot of scams going on in the world right now, unfortunately, as with the rise of remote work goes on, and a lot of the things that are online happen. So you just need to make sure that when you're actually applying for a position, make sure you're actually looking at the job descriptions really well. Make sure that they're linked to a really good website or a website that looks somewhat legitimate. Do not accept any requests for payment up front. You don't need to give out your bank details yet. Once you're in the position, once you're on a contractual base, that's when you actually go for HR positions and you discuss with them how this stuff works. Because for remote jobs, you might not even have a typical bank account. You might be using PayPal, or you might be using Payoneer, which is all online-based wallet systems. That's where your income is going to be, and then you can link your cards to that. Again, lack of company transparency as well. So just make sure you're thoroughly searching the jobs that you're applying for, and you're really being careful out there when you're putting your details online. Some verification tips, as I mentioned earlier as well, are researching the company, checking for reviews or complaints about that specific platform. What you can do is actually on Monster and LinkedIn, you can see how that company is rated as well, and see if you're actually getting responses from their employees when applying as well. And of course, verify the job offer through official communication channels as well. So a great tip is, if you're applying online through LinkedIn, make sure you're also sending a dedicated email to the HR person or the contact info of the firm as well. And then again, so best practices for productivity and work-life balance. With remote work, there are a few cons, and that would be, because you have internet and because you have your laptop, that's pretty much all you need. You're technically available at all times, where you can be off work at 9 to 5, you can shut down your computer, and if anybody asks you anything, you're like, my laptop's not here with me, it's at the office. That's kind of not possible with remote work. So for those, you definitely have to dedicate a specific workspace when you're in the zone, and try to get out of the zone, out of your work hours, because companies will try to milk you as much as they can, and they will try to take you on as many tasks as possible. So just be on the lookout for that. Moving that into time management tools as well. You can use Trello, you can use Rescue Time, and you can use, of course, Google Calendar for scheduling. But try, again, to manage your time as best as possible, and don't work out of your hours ever, because you do it once, you do it twice, you're going to be expected to do it over and over again. And then, of course, maintaining balances. Even in remote work, you're still working. So you need to recognize that you have to take breaks between work, and you have to work the same amount that you would in an office and not be overtime with that as well. So just make sure you have clear boundaries with your work as well. That's pretty much what I'll wrap up. These were kind of the soft information that you'll need. And moving on, the two more experts on the engineering side will help you go on forward. If there's any Q&As, I'll take them now.
Thank you so much, Ms. Maria. This is wonderful, and it sets the stage for the other two speakers as well. हम सवालात के लिए भी पूछ लेते हैं. अगर आपको कोई सवाल है, तो you could raise hand feature, and then we'll give you the opportunity. Zubair Ahmed, आप सवाल पूछ सकते हैं. Unmute yourself.
Right. Assalamu alaikum, first of all. And I have a question that I was not able to make any PayPal account while being in Pakistan. I was struggling with that. Can you explain how I can possibly able to make PayPal account from here?
So PayPal account should be available to you, but I think a really great way would be to honestly use a VPN or a hotspot, and that should allow you to access international VPN, international PayPal as well. So that's something that you might be interested in. But there's also a lot of different solutions. Try Payoneer, try different apps that would do the same thing for you as well.
Ms. Maria, great response.
Can you sorry to cut you. Can you explain what apps you are talking about? Other apps that I can use?
So I can actually DM you separately. They're called Payoneer, and then of course using VPN for PayPal.
Yeah, actually, I have tried VPN to open an account while using PayPal, but that doesn't work for me.
Yeah, you might want to check out how that works on your end. But for sure, what I can do is I can suggest you some other ways as well. If you would like,
Right.
you can reach out separately as well. I believe we should be able to do a one-on-one chat, or if I could just mention in the chat bot.
Sure. Thank you so much.
And Ms. Maria, if you could maybe perhaps later in the chat, you could put also these links or the companies.
Sure.
So people will have the it's a recorded session, and they will also have this information. Okay. Let's go to Zubair Ahmed है हमारे साथ. आप सवाल पूछिए, please.
Yeah, I already did. Sorry.
Venkat asked, does this class be recorded? Yes, we will share the recording, inshallah. You could just go back to LeadTheNation.org. That's the simple way of doing it. And it's also आपका link है mentorship का, वहाँ से भी आप ले सकते हैं अपना direct on your website, अपना NED website. You could also have a link from there. Any other questions at this point before we move on?
सर आप मेरी आवाज़ सुन सकते हैं?
जी जनाब, बहुत प्यारी आवाज़ है।
ठीक है सर, मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था कि अगर कोई इस टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड से बिलोंग नहीं करता, जैसा मैम ने अभी बात करी ग्राफिक डिज़ाइनिंग की और प्रोग्रामिंग की, मैं अभी मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग का स्टूडेंट हूँ, सो मैं किस तरीके से इन अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ को ग्रैब कर सकता हूँ एज अ रिमोट जॉब? कैन यू एक्सप्लेन प्लीज़ मैम? थैंक यू।
So of course, as a mechanical engineer, there are going to be limitations, as I mentioned earlier. लेकिन what you're going to have to do is आपको अपनी skills थोड़ी बहुत इस तरह develop करनी पड़ेंगी, जिसमें you can see value coming out of mechanical engineering as well. Because I don't think you're only limited to plant jobs, or you're only limited to jobs that are physically supposed to be done. A lot of you might have studied coding. A lot of you might have studied other things, you know, such as technical support online as well, that you can really leverage your skills as a mechanical engineer in.
Also, Ahmad, if you wait just after my talk, we have a speaker, Mr. Baseeruddin. He's actually a mechanical engineer and he's working remotely, so you'll benefit a lot from his talk probably.
आई नो सम सॉफ्टवेयर जैसे कि कैड है और कैम वगैरह है, जिसमें हम सिमुलेशंस वगैरह कर सकते हैं, लेकिन इस प्रेजेंटेशन में बेसिकली टारगेट किया गया था वो प्रोग्रामिंग और ग्राफिक रिलेटेड को, सो इस वजह से मैं कंफ्यूज हुआ था। थैंक यू मैम।
ठीक है।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
जी फरमाइए। सैयद ताहा,
सैयद तलहा।
तलहा सॉरी जी,
सर मैं
फरमाइए।
एक सिविल इंजीनियर हूँ और बिल्डिंग इंफॉर्मेशन मॉडलिंग में, मतलब एज अ काइंड ऑफ फ्रेश ही आप कंसिडर करेंगे क्योंकि मैं लास्ट ईयर ग्रेजुएट हुआ हूँ। तो अगर कोई फैकल्टी में से कोई सिविल इंजीनियरिंग में बिम वगैरह में हो तो थोड़ा सिविल के बारे में थोड़ा सा आप गाइड कर सकेंगे कि हम इसमें किस तरीके से अपने रिमोट वर्क ढूंढ सकते हैं, अगर कोई सिविल बेस्ड कोई जवाब आ जाए।
ये सवाल जो है आपका, हमारे साथ डॉक्टर मुमताज कुरैशी हैं, तो फिर आप उनसे राब्ते में रहिएगा। जी डॉक्टर साहब।
जी मैं इसमें आपको बता दूं तलहा, बेसिकली ऐसा है कि अभी हमारे बसीर साहब जो प्रेजेंटेशन देंगे उसमें वो इन तमाम चीज़ों को कवर करेंगे और उसमें कुछ वेबसाइट्स आप कुछ ऑनलाइन शेयर करेंगे आपसे, तो उन वेबसाइट्स पे जाके आप शेयर कर सकते हैं, अपनी तमाम चीज़ें देख सकते हैं और वहाँ पे जो भी चीज़ें आपसे डिमांडिंग की जा रही है अपने आप को एनहेंस कर सकते हैं उन डिमांडिंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ के लिहाज से। तो आप थोड़ा सा वेट करें, अभी हमारे बसीरुद्दीन साहब जो हैं वो इस बारे में आपसे बात करें। ठीक है जी, ओके
शुक्रिया सर।
तो
चलें मलिक जुल्करनैन की तरफ चलते हैं, आखिरी सवाल कर लेते हैं। अगर किसी और का सवाल है तो प्लीज रेज योर हैंड और फिर उसके बाद जो है हम नेक्स्ट स्पीकर के लिए चलते हैं। बहुत अच्छा सवाल।
सर,
थैंक यू
सर मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था कि हम अमेरिका, यूएसए, कनाडा या यूरोप में किसी भी जो भी रेप्यूटेबल कंपनीज हैं उनमें सर अपनी कोल्ड ईमेल्स कर सकते हैं ताकि हमें जॉब्स मिल सकें?
ये मारिया से जवाब ले लेते हैं इसका। जी प्लीज।
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea. आप definitely ये काम कर सकते हैं कि आप उनके HR को या उनके contact us को अपनी CV और एक अच्छा सा cover letter भेजें that describes what you're doing and what you could help them with, right? आप उनकी कोई job position निकालें या कोई उनका एक ऐसा job division देखें जिसमें आपको लगता है कि आप fit in हो सकते हैं and you send that to them, right? क्योंकि HR क्या करती है, when they get personalized emails, they will keep your emails and they will keep your CV separately as well. Another great way to do the same thing is actually go on LinkedIn, see कि उस company से कौन-कौन लोग हैं that you can actually message or you can connect with on LinkedIn, and then आप उनको भी privately भेज सकते हैं, because there's a great thing these days called a referral program. अगर आप किसी को अपनी CV देते हैं और उनको लगता है कि वो बहुत अच्छी है, current employee को, और उनको लगता है कि वो बहुत अच्छी है, वो आपको आगे कभी recommend करते हैं, so they also get a bonus from referring you. So definitely cold reach outs on LinkedIn to employees of firms that you like, and then cold reach outs to HR specifically as well, can really work in your favor in the long term as well, inshallah.
also maybe I want to add a point here as well. LinkedIn पे it's very important कि obviously आप LinkedIn को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इस्तेमाल करें और jobs ढूंढें. लेकिन to stand out, this is a tried and tested way. If you like a job that you want to apply to, right? Apply it from LinkedIn या फिर LinkedIn पे directly आप apply करें या फिर वो website को redirect कर देता है. But also आप उस कंपनी की प्रोफाइल जाके देखें और उस कंपनी के रिक्रूटर्स को ढूंढें और किसी एक रिक्रूटर को ढूंढ के आप लिंक्डइन में एक ऑप्शन होता है इन मेल, आप इन मेल पर्सन मैसेज भेज सकते हैं उनको और उसमें आप ये टाइप करें कि मैंने इस जॉब में अप्लाई किया है और जैसे कि मारिया ने कहा कि आप वही जो कवर लेटर लिखेंगे वो उस इन मेल में डालें और उसमें बता दें कि मैंने इस और लिंक भी दे दें कि मैंने इस जॉब में अप्लाई किया है. So that just sets you apart from every other person who's just applying to this job, right? For example, अगर 10,000 बंदा एक जॉब पे अप्लाई कर रहा है तो हार्डली 100 या 200 या 300 लोग होंगे जो एक्चुअली उस कंपनी के रिक्रूटर को ढूंढ के उनको ईमेल भी करेंगे. सो दैट जस्ट शोज एन पॉजिटिव थिंग फ्रॉम यू. सो दैट आल्सो हेल्प्स.
Thank you, Mr. Muntasar. This is again proactively searching, और ये बहुत अच्छा आपको इन्होंने जवाब दिया. So you stand out from the crowd, right? That's basically what you're trying to do in a job hunt or job search. तो चलें, okay, next हम speaker की तरफ चलते हैं. So Mr. Muntasar Agha हमारे साथ है इंशाल्लाह, and he is, I believe, in UK and working from there, and also somebody who started remote working from Pakistan and then overseas, mashallah. So Muntasar, I'm going to ask you to do a brief intro and then share your slides, inshallah. Thank you.
Right. Assalamu alaikum, guys. जैसे फराज साहब ने कहा, I graduated from NUST software engineering back in 2019. मैंने उसके बाद लाहौर में काम करना शुरू किया. Then COVID hit after a few months. फिर मैं remote काम उसके बाद से मैं कर रहा हूँ. So what happened was when COVID hit, हमारी company went remote. I was like, okay, if it is remote, doesn't matter if I stay in Saudi Arabia, if I go back to my family, or if I stay in Pakistan, or if I go back to my family. So I just went back to Saudi. उसके बाद से basically remote work ही रहे. मेरी कंपनी ने कहा जब वापस situation cool down हो भी गई, they were like, yeah, it's fine. Just stay over there. We're saving on cost by you not coming to the office and not having to pay for your meals and stuff. They were like, yeah, absolutely fine, right? उसके बाद I started working with international clients. मैं बेल्जियम के बैंक के साथ काम करना शुरू हुआ. Then I moved to Belgium for a year. उसके बाद मैं जॉब फिर से स्विच की थी मैंने. उसके बाद फिर मैं यूके आ गया और अभी मैं यूके में एज अ senior software engineer काम कर रहा हूँ. Right. I can't seem to share my screen, so Mari, can you please share the slides again? So what was supposed to happen was I was supposed to share the slide for Mari and me, but yeah, that's what younger sisters do, I guess. Save their brothers. Cool.
We could do it. We could see it. Thank you, Chan.
Awesome. Yeah, next slide, please. So my session, the next 5-10 minutes would just be more of a awareness session. तो मेरा कोई specific मकसद नहीं है, बस अपने experience बताना है, अपने दोस्तों का experience बताना है जो मुझसे काफी ज़्यादा remote काम करते थे. तो hopefully you just get inspiration और थोड़े बहुत आपके questions answer हो जाए और भी कोई दिमाग में questions पैदा हो जाए. Right. तो पाकिस्तान में जब आप online working का सोचते हैं तो usually लोगों के दिमाग में freelancer आता है जो कि Upwork or Fiverr पे काम करता है, लेकिन it's not just that. You can also be a part-time employee. You can also be a full-time employee. So we'll look at each one of those one by one. Next slide, please. Cool. So freelancer होने का एक बहुत बड़ा फायदा ये होता है कि you can pick and choose what you want to work on. So freelancers usually multiple platforms के साथ associated होते हैं, like Upwork, like Fiverr, like Freelancer. तो उसमें होता है कि you just create your profile. It's very easy to set up. आप अपनी profile बनाते हो, अपनी information fill in करते हो, what services you can offer, and you're basically done. You're ready to export your services to any people in need, right? उसके बाद क्या होता है इन platforms में आप ढूंढते हो, लोगों ने आके projects लगाए हुए होते हैं that they need to be worked on. आपने project ढूंढना होता है और उसके बाद आपने अपनी bid करनी होती है उस project में. और bid में usually आप अपने आप को present कर रहे होते हैं कि why I am the best person or why you should choose me for this project. ठीक है? तो क्योंकि आप अपने projects खुद से मर्जी से ढूंढ रहे होते हैं, यहाँ पे आपको फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी बहुत ज्यादा मिल जाती है क्योंकि आपको जरूरी नहीं है कि बोरिंग जैसे कंपनीज में हो सकता है you're forced to work whatever your employer tells you to, right? लेकिन एज अ फ्रीलांसर आपके पास फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी होती है कि यार नहीं मुझे ये वाला प्रोजेक्ट नहीं करना, मुझे ये वाला प्रोजेक्ट करना है और उसके बाद विद इन द प्रोजेक्ट इटसेल्फ आपके पास कोई लिमिट नहीं होती कि मैंने आज ही दिन में 8 घंटे काम करना है, मैं दिन में 3 घंटे भी काम कर सकता हूँ, अगले दिन 5 घंटे काम कर लूंगा. तो ऐसे डिविजन, ऐसी फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी बहुत ईजी होती है एज अ वर्किंग एज अ फ्रीलांसर. और आखिरी चीज, कैन बी स्टार्टेड एज अ साइड हॉबी। ये बहुत बड़ा बेनिफिट है फ्रीलांसर होने का कि इवन इफ यू आर डूइंग योर फुल टाइम जॉब, लाइक यू सी मेरे पास एक एग्जांपल्स भी होंगे एट द एंड, यू कैन स्टार्ट दिस एज अ साइड हॉबी। सो अगर आप सिविल के हो फॉर एग्जांपल, आपने मैकेनिकल की हुई हो, डजंट मैटर, क्योंकि साइड हॉबी जो होती है इट शुड बी डिफरेंट टू योर मेन वर्क, राइट? तो क्या पता आपको डिजाइनिंग का शौक हो, आप एज अ सिविल इंजीनियर काम कर रहे हो लेकिन आपको डिजाइनिंग का भी शौक है, पिकअप यूआई यूएक्स, आप उसमें थोड़ा बहुत सीखने शुरू हो जाओ, थोड़ा बहुत सीखो, उसके बाद थोड़ा काम करना शुरू कर दो, यू लर्न एज यू गो, राइट? तो दिस इज अ वेरी गुड अपॉर्चुनिटी व्हेन यू आर वर्किंग एज अ फ्रीलांसर कि आप कोई भी नई चीज अगर आप ट्राई करना चाहते हो तो आप साइड हॉबी स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं। नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज। Right. The next option is working as a part-time employee. So basically, companies काफी ज्यादा होती हैं जो अपने roles निकालती हैं, not as a full-time, लेकिन वो कहती है कि we need a person who can work around about 20 hours a week. तो part-time employee. तो ये होता contractual work ही है. It's not a project that you're picking, it's an employee that you're picking. और because ये इसमें 15 to 20 hours per week होता है, usually आपको contract sign करना इसमें होता है जरूरी. It is contractual work. You are bound to the employer. आप एम्प्लॉयर के साथ डिसाइड करते हैं कि यार मैं हफ्ते के 15 या 20 आवर्स काम कर सकता हूँ। इसमें बस एक ही नुकसान ये होता है एज अ पार्ट टाइम एम्प्लॉय, जो फ्रीलांसर में आपको बेनिफिट होता है, आपकी जो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी है प्रोजेक्ट यूज करने की, इट्स नॉट इन योर हैंड्स एनीमोर बिकॉज यू आर कमिटेड टू एन एम्प्लॉय। इवन दो यू आर वर्किंग 15 to 20 hours a week, you still have to work on the project that your employer has assigned you to, right? And lastly, we have a full-time employee. ये जैसे आपकी normal 40 to 45 hour जो in-person jobs होती हैं, exactly वैसे ही होता है. It is a contractual job और आपको उतना ही usually 8 to 9 hours a day काम करना होगा. और इसमें काफी दफा क्योंकि आपके clientele बाहर का हो सकता है, आपके international employer हो सकता है, तो maybe you need to change your time zones as well. तो अगर आपके US का you might need to work late at nights, Europe का you might need to work in the evenings or something like that. और इसमें एम्प्लॉय बेनिफिट्स जो होते हैं वो यूजुअली लिमिटेड होते हैं क्योंकि मेजॉरिटी इंटरनेशनल क्लाइंट्स की प्रेजेंस पाकिस्तान में नहीं होती, तो वो हेल्थ बेनिफिट्स फॉर एग्जांपल इंश्योरेंस ये सब कुछ नहीं दे पाते। लेकिन इसको कॉम्पेंसेट करने के लिए व्हाट दे डू इज दे इंक्रीज योर पे। तो ये नहीं होता कि वो आपको भूल जाते हैं, कहते हैं कि नहीं हम आपको देंगे ही नहीं, देयर लाइक ओके बिकॉज वी कांट प्रोवाइड यू विद दीस सर्विसेज, हम उसके बजाय आपको एक्स्ट्रा पे दे देंगे, व्हिच अ लॉट ऑफ द पीपल इन पाकिस्तान वुड रादर प्रेफर ऑनेस्टली। Right, so those are the three main modes of online working, basically. Next slide. Right, so this is a question that we already got asked when Maria spoke. What happens if I don't know programming? Programmers are losers, guys. छोड़ो programming को. यहाँ पे UI UX designing है, digital marketing है, technical writers, content manager, market research, HR, sales, data analysis. मैं 100 चीजें यहाँ पे लिख दूँ, जगह नहीं थी, लेकिन इन सब में common theme क्या है? It's all IT related. लेकिन इसमें हार्डली डेटा एनालिसिस के अलावा हार्डली इसमें किसी में भी शायद आपको कोडिंग की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी। आई वुड आर्ग्यू इवन डेटा एनालिसिस, इवन फॉर एग्जांपल मेरी कंपनी में डेटा एनालिस्ट जो होते हैं उनका मेजॉरिटी ऑफ टाइम एक्सेल होता है, एक्सेल, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट एक्सेल, पावर बीआई एंड टैब्लो। सो दोस आर द बिग थ्री राइट इन द वर्ल्ड ऑफ डेटा एनालिसिस। हाँ, इसमें इसका ये मतलब बिल्कुल नहीं है कि अगर डेटा एनालिसिस में आपको एसक्यूएल सीख के फायदा हो रहा है तो आप ना सीखो। क्यों नहीं सीखो भाई? अगर आपको एक चीज, एक नई स्किल में आप improve कर रहे हो, you can bring more value, then learn it. ये नॉन प्रोग्रामर्स के दिमाग में बहुत बड़ा एक बना हुआ होता है क्लाउड कि आप पता नहीं प्रोग्रामिंग क्या चीज है, ये चीज है, वो चीज है, which is not true. I mean, it might be true to a certain extent, लेकिन tools like or programming languages like SQL ये बिल्कुल different होती है actual programming से। तो you can learn SQL, you can work as a data analyst even without an SQL. But the point is you don't need to know programming in order to find a remote job. और यहाँ पे आई थिंक एक क्वेश्चन भी आया था, डू आई नीड अ बैचलर्स डिग्री इन कंप्यूटर साइंस सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग? एब्सोल्युटली नॉट। ये जितने भी प्लेटफॉर्म्स हो गए अभी आगे, कैन यू गो टू द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज? Yep. So for example, these platforms, right? Upwork, Fiverr, TopTal, and freelancers. None of these have any cut-offs based on your degree. आपके पास कोई डिग्री ना भी हो, you can still work on these platforms. वो आपके डिग्री का पूछेंगे भी नहीं। अगर आपको अपनी डिग्री की इंफॉर्मेशन डालनी है आप डालें, लेकिन इट्स नॉट अ कट ऑफ, इट इज नॉट अ रिक्वायरमेंट। So where do I find work, right? Maria's already talked about platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, and maybe even Freelancer. So the difference between those three and TopTal is Upwork, Fiverr, or Freelancer, man, you can just set up your account and you're good to go. You're ready to export your services, right? TopTal is a little different. TopTal का एक pool होता है of people that they keep confined, right? और उनका जो TopTal का जो pool होता है लोगों का, इट्स हाई एंड, मतलब उसमें सिर्फ अच्छे से अच्छे लोग जा सकते हैं। तो टॉपटिल का जो क्राइटेरिया होता है आपको एक्सेप्ट करने का, इट्स ऑल्सो वेरी डिफरेंट। बाकी 3 में आपको इतना इशू नहीं होगा एंटर होने में। टॉपटिल हैज मल्टीपल इंटरव्यू स्टेजेस, राइट? और उनमें आपको टेक होम टेक्निकल असाइनमेंट्स भी होंगी, 1-to-1 लाइव टेक्निकल असाइनमेंट्स भी होंगी। टेक्निकल आपको असेस किया जाएगा, आपसे सवाल पूछे जाएंगे, शायद आपको कोई टेक्निकल काम भी दिया जाए जो आपको फेसिंग द इंटरव्यूअर आपको सॉल्व करना हो। तो इसीलिए टॉपटिल इज अ डिफिकल्ट टू गेट स्टार्टेड ऑन, लेकिन क्योंकि वो डिफिकल्ट है, द अमाउंट of pay that you get on TopTil is very different from the amount you get from the other 3 platforms. TopTil में basically, if you're in TopTil, right, they connect you with a client, और उसमें आप as a freelancer नहीं काम करोगे. You're basically working as a full-time employee, and you get paid crazy good money. आगे example भी आएगा जिसमें आपको पता चलेगा, but it's very good. So that's the difference. Even because it's so hard to get into TopTil, I have a few friends, even I got into TopTil, it's not impossible, right? You might need a little more experience, fresh graduates के साथ निकलते साथ ही एज फ्रेश ग्रेजुएट्स मुश्किल होगा, लेकिन a few years down the line आप जब इतनी sufficient skill develop कर लो, absolutely go or target platforms like TopTil, क्योंकि इनमें जो आपको काम मिलेगा would be top, no, it would be elite, right? And the amount of money and the benefits would also go along with it. Right, next slide please. Cool. So why work remote in tech? क्यों काम करें remote? मतलब why not just go into the company and work in person? वहां पे आपको in person socialize करने के भी मौके मिलते हैं, आपको chilling करने के भी मौके मिलते हैं, आपको parties और events आने के भी मौके मिलते हैं. तो why work remote, right? So I'll just give you a few pointers of why you should consider working remote. Next slide. Challenging work. Because अक्सर औकात जब आप remote काम कर रहे होंगे, you might be or most likely are paired up with international clients. आपको पता चलेगा कि वहां पे बाहर की दुनिया में कैसे काम होता है, मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज में क्या एसओपीज फॉलो होती हैं, क्या हम लोग जो पाकिस्तान में काम कर रहे होते हैं इज इट एट द सेम स्टैंडर्ड जो वहां पे काम कर रहे होते हैं. बाय द वे, मैं जस्ट एज अ डिस्क्लेमर दे दूं, मुझे 5 साल हो चुके हैं काम करते हुए. मैं आपको अभी से बता सकता हूँ कि जो पाकिस्तान में हम लोग काम करते हैं और जो हम लोग को लगता है कि हम लोग जुगाड़ लगा रहे हैं ना, दुनिया भर में ऐसे ही होता है. ठीक है, सो डोंट एवर फील कि आप काम गलत करो या वो करो, दुनिया भर में ऐसा होता है. मैं आपको Amazon की एग्जांपल्स भी दे सकता हूँ, वहां पे भी ऐसा होता है. खैर वो एक अलग टेंजेंट है, वापस इस पे आ जाते हैं. तो यू गेट चैलेंजिंग वर्क, राइट? बिकॉज आप बाहर के लोगों के साथ काम करें, उनकी रिक्वायरमेंट्स कुछ और होती हैं, उनकी आपको स्केलेबिलिटी को बहुत डिफरेंटली देखना होता है. पाकिस्तान में आप काम करते वक्त आपकी बहुत नैरो माइंडेड होकर करना होता है क्योंकि यूर टारगेटिंग वेरी स्पेसिफिक मार्केट. लेकिन आप जब इंटरनेशनल क्लाइंट्स के साथ काम करते हो, इट्स अ ह्यूज मार्केट, राइट? और मल्टीपल कंट्रीज, मल्टीपल कॉन्टिनेंट्स स्पैन कर रही होती है मार्केट, राइट? तो आपको ये बहुत फायदा होता है कि यू नेवर बोर्ड विद योर वर्क, यू ऑलवेज गेट न्यू अपॉर्चुनिटीज टू लर्न, न्यू अपॉर्चुनिटीज टू एक्सेल. So that's very big plus of working remote. Next slide. So working on platforms like Fiverr and Upwork, right? आप वहाँ पे लोगों के projects पे bid करते हैं, and if you get accepted, फिर आप उनके लिए काम करते हैं, right? So this is how you develop your clientele. अगर आप उनके लिए काम अच्छा करेंगे, they give you good reviews. The more good reviews that you have, you begin to develop a rapport on that platform, either Fiverr or Upwork or whatever, right? और जितनी अच्छी आपकी rapport होगी, उतने ही फिर आपको ज्यादा लोग इजीली अप्रोच करेंगे और आपकी इजीली बिड्स भी एक्सेप्ट होंगी, क्योंकि उनको पता होगा कि हाँ यार ये तो काफी टाइम से प्लेटफॉर्म पे और इसको रिव्यूज भी अच्छे आते हैं. सो इट्स मच इजी टू गेट न्यू प्रोजेक्ट्स. क्योंकि यहाँ पे मैंने एक पॉइंट डाला है, इंप्रूविंग योर सॉफ्ट स्किल्स. आईटी वालों का, और इन जनरल मैं आईटी नहीं सिर्फ इंजीनियरिंग वालों का इन जनरल बोलूंगा, द बिग इशू दैट आई हैव सीन इज हम लोग काम तो कर लेंगे टेक्निकली, वी आर टेक्निकली वेरी साउंड, लेकिन जब सॉफ्ट स्किल्स की बात आती है हम थोड़ी सी मार खा जाते हैं, और ये मार हमें काफी भारी भी पड़ सकती है. क्योंकि technically काम करना, that's a basic requirement, right? लेकिन how do you convey what you've done to your employer? आप कैसे उनको बताएं कि यार मैंने जो काम किया है ना वो बताने में easy लग रहा है, लेकिन उसकी वैल्यू जो है वो बहुत इमेंस है, और हम लोग बहुत अक्सर औकात ये नहीं कन्वे कर पाते. इसलिए हमारे एम्प्लॉयर को भी या हमारे क्लाइंट को भी कभी उतनी अच्छी इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं हो पाएगी कि यार हाँ यार इतना कमाल काम कर रहा है. उसको ऐसा लगेगा हाँ यार इसको जो काम दिया था वही कर रहा है, ये नहीं उसको पता चलेगा कितना कमाल काम हो रहा है. तो दिस इज ऑल्सो समथिंग, क्योंकि आप इंटरनेशनल क्लाइंट्स के साथ बार बार काम कर रहे होंगे, आपको बार बार उनसे हर दिन 2-3 मीटिंग्स देनी पड़ेंगी. यू नीड टू इंप्रूव योर सॉफ्ट स्किल्स, और ऑटोमेटिकली होगा. आई हैड अ फ्रेंड जिसकी मैं आगे एग्जांपल दूंगा, वो गांव से आया था, वो उसने मेरे साथ बैचलर्स किया, और जब बैचलर्स करने के बाद फ्री हुआ तो वो जिस कंपनी में पाकिस्तान में काम करता था वो उनके इंटरनेशनल क्लाइंट्स होते थे. आई रिमेंबर मैं उसके साथ 2 साल रहा था क्योंकि यूनिवर्सिटी के बाद भी. उसकी इंग्लिश day 1 after graduation and 6 months later was vastly different. That was purely because हर दिन वो communicate कर रहा था. He had to communicate in English, और सिर्फ English की बात नहीं है, he learned how to convey value in when he spoke. So this is something that you will eventually develop. आप जितना जितना बात करते रहेंगे, जितना जितना इस चीज को realize करना बहुत important है कि you need to convey your value in what you do. So that's also a very big point. और यहाँ पे मैं आपको एक और चीज बताना चाहूंगा, पाकिस्तान में I know personally there are a lot of companies जिनके typical story ये थी, उनके जो CEO होंगे, he started as an Upwork or freelance or Fiverr worker, he built up a clientele, और जितनी एक टाइम पे जब उनकी इतनी अच्छी clientele बन गई, तब जब उनका रिलेशनशिप अच्छा बन गया clientele के साथ, उसके बाद से उन्होंने क्या करना शुरू कर दिया कि देखें अब आप मुझे जानते हैं, आप मेरे काम को जानते हैं, right? So rather than you assigning me work through platform, what happens if I open up my own company और आप मेरी कंपनी को डायरेक्ट अप्रोच करो, और मेरे अपवर्क जो बीच में मिडिल मैन है, जो 20% 25% आपके पैसे खाता है, उसको जरा साइड में कर देते हैं और आप हमें डायरेक्ट काम दो, क्योंकि आप मेरे साथ इतनी अच्छी रिलेशनशिप है और मैं काम को आप जानते हैं. तो दिस इज, आई नो पर्सनली अ लॉट ऑफ कंपनीज जो अब ये करती हैं, वो उनके पास 10-10 15-15 लोगों की टीम्स होंगी और वो उनके सारे क्लाइंटल बेसिकली वही होगा जो उनके सीईओ अपने साथ फाइवर, अपवर्क, टॉप 10 जगह से लेके आया होगा. So that is also something to keep in mind कि ये भी चीजें होती हैं. You need to be smart about it. Right, next slide. Right, इस चीज का आपको ज्यादा शौक होगा. Benefits, right? You get better pay obviously because you're mostly getting paid in either USD, euros or sterlings or pounds. So you obviously get better pay. Our clients usually minimum hour rates से ज्यादा ही देते हैं, और पाकिस्तान की तो वैसे भी उससे मैच नहीं कर सकते. तो you get a lot better pay. Flexibility, as I mentioned, अगर आप as a freelancer काम कर रहे हो तो आप you can pick and choose how much you want to work, you can pick and choose what you want to spend your time on, right? It can also establish you on the path to financial freedom. मैंने जो भी CEOs example दी, for example, उन्होंने अपनी clientele बनाई, उन्होंने अपनी company start की. Now what does he do? He has 10-15 people and they constantly have work. वो लोग उसका काम संभाल रहे हैं. All he needs to do is keep on networking. So it can be a very good step on the path to financial freedom. And of course, mental peace as well, right? When you're in charge of how much you want to work, when you have time to spend on, when you have the flexibility to decide how much time you want to spend on working, when, for example, you want to work and how much time you want to give to your family or other things, right? Mental peace are both easily managed kar sakte hain. It's something that's not spoken about a lot in our society, but it is a very, very important thing. So this also benefits you with that. Next slide. Right, this is my favorite slide. यहाँ पे आपको कितने लोगों को पता है कि पाकिस्तान में फ्रीलांसर टैक्स 1% होता है? शायद आप लोगों को पता हो, हम इतने स्मार्ट नहीं होते थे जब हम लोग फ्रेश ग्रेजुएट्स थे, हमें नहीं पता था. लेकिन just for your information, if you are working as a freelancer and bringing money from outside, you are only applicable to pay 1% tax on your income. So that's basically nothing. इससे ज्यादा बड़ा इंसेंटिव आपके पास हो ही नहीं सकता, honestly, कि 1% टैक्स देना है, right? और अभी आपको पता है, न्यूज में भी आपने देखा होगा, हम पाकिस्तान में वैसे भी इनकम टैक्स बढ़ गया है. This has stayed the same. So this is probably the biggest incentive. और hopefully आप लोगों को अब पता चल गया अगर नहीं पता था. But yes, keep in mind 1% tax. Right, next slide. So I think I'll finish up by just giving you examples of two of my friends. This is the friend that I mentioned to you about जो गांव से आया था. वो मेरे साथ ही, उसने लाहौर में बिल्कुल ग्रेजुएट होते साथ ही काम करने शुरू कर दिया कंपनी के साथ, और उसने अपनी पूरी जान लगा दी कि उस कंपनी में वो टेक्निकल अपनी स्किल्स को बिल्कुल होन करे, ठीक है, बिल्कुल मतलब उसको क्रिस्टल शार्प कर दे. और उसने साथ साथ व्हाट ही डिड वाज, अपनी जॉब तो उसने कायम रखी उसने, लेकिन साथ में फ्रीलांसिंग भी करना शुरू कर दी थोड़ी थोड़ी. दिन में 2 घंटे हो गए, कभी कभार 3 घंटे. उससे क्या हुआ कि कंपनी के लिए जो वो काम कर रहा था, इट वाज रिस्ट्रिक्टेड टू द सेट ऑफ स्किल्स दैट द कंपनी वांटेड, राइट? लेकिन अगर आपको उससे ज्यादा एक्सपैंड करना है, तब आपको यू नीड टू फाइंड अदर एवेन्यूज. तो ये जो प्रोजेक्ट्स थे वो बेसिकली उसको अलाउ करते थे कि यार मुझे अगर कोई और चीज सीखी है मैंने, जिसको मुझे और ज्यादा शॉर्ट करनी है, तो मैं फ्रीलांसिंग कर सकता हूँ और उस फील्ड को और अच्छा कर सकता हूँ. तो उसने ये भी करना स्टार्ट कर दिया, और 2.5 साल ग्रेजुएशन के बाद ही गॉट एक्सेप्टेड इनटू टॉपटेल विद द स्टार्टिंग बेस पे ऑफ $77,000 पर ईयर. इमेजिन, आप जब सब लोग जाओ घर पे, या घर पे ही होगे प्रॉब्ली, कैलकुलेटर्स खोलो, $77,000 को रुपीस में कन्वर्ट करो, डिवाइड बाय 12 करो, और फिर उस पे 1% टैक्स लगाओ, और फिर मुझे बताओ कि इस साल अच्छा क्या हो सकता है. और ये काफी पुरानी बात है, अब तो अभी वो कनाडा में होता है, लेकिन दिस इज दिस इज अ टिपिकल जर्नी जो मैं आपको बता रहा था। उसने 2-2.5 साल लगा अपनी स्किल्स को उसने बिल्कुल अच्छा किया और उसके बाद फिर उसने टॉप 10 में गया और एक्सेप्ट हो गया वो, राइट? सो दिस इज वन एग्जांपल। द अदर एग्जांपल, कैन यू गो टू द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज? राइट, सो ये भी मेरे एक बहुत अच्छा क्लोज फ्रेंड है। इसने बेसिकली 6 सेमेस्टर में इसको शौक चढ़ा बाइक खरीदने का, राइट? तो पैसे नहीं थे, इसके बाद इसने कहा क्या करूं? उसने कहा ठीक है फ्रीलांसिंग शुरू करते हैं, पैसे कमाते कुछ कोशिश करते हैं। तो उसने वो स्टार्ट की। उसको वेब स्क्रिप्टिंग थोड़ी बहुत आती थी। वो ही वाज नॉट अ कंप्यूटर साइंस स्टूडेंट, तो शायद आप लोग इससे इंस्पिरेशन ले सकें। लेकिन उसने थोड़ी बहुत वेब स्क्रिप्टिंग सीखी। उसने कहा ठीक है यार, मैं फाइवर पे जाता हूँ, जो सीखा है उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करता हूँ। उसने उस पर काम किया और उसने फिर बच्चों की, क्योंकि फाइवर और अपवर्क मजे के इसलिए प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं, इट्स नॉट जस्ट वर्क। वहाँ पे स्टूडेंट्स अपनी असाइनमेंट्स भी लगाएंगे, रिसर्च वर्क भी लगाएंगे, मास्टर्स के स्टूडेंट्स भी आ रहे होंगे, और उससे रिसर्च का शौक था। तो उसने लोगों की असाइनमेंट्स करना शुरू कर दी, रिसर्च वर्क करना शुरू कर दिया, और ऐसी छोटी मोटी ना उसने अपने रिपोर्ट बनाया प्लेटफॉर्म पे। इट डजंट मैटर कि आप क्या काम कर रहे हो, क्योंकि जब भी वो कोई भी काम अच्छा करता था उसको अच्छी रेटिंग मिलती थी, उसके पॉइंट्स उस प्लेटफॉर्म पे हाई होते थे, और उसकी वजह से फिर उसको अगले प्रोजेक्ट लेने में काफी आसानी भी होती थी। तो व्हेन ही ग्रेजुएटेड, उसने नॉर्थ वे पाकिस्तान में एक सॉफ्टवेयर कंपनी वो ज्वाइन की, लेकिन वो साथ में अपवर्क और फाइवर में काम भी करता गया। And he, an year and a half back, got a full-time remote job with OpenAI. OpenAI, for those of you who don't know, is the brains behind ChatGPT. So he got a full-time remote job with OpenAI, right? So yeah, these are two success stories. और ये मेरे बहुत करीबी दोस्त हैं, मतलब इतने करीबी दोस्त हैं कि मेरी फैमिलीज भी जानती हैं, right? Next slide, please. So this is my last slide. So what's the common theme between all of what I've said and the two examples that I've shared? ये मत एक्सपेक्ट करिएगा कि आप ग्रेजुएट होते साथ ही आपको 70,000 80,000 की जॉब आपको डॉलर्स में मिल जाएगी। ऐसा नहीं होता। मैंने आपको जिन लोगों की एग्जांपल्स दी, उन्होंने 2-2 3-3 4-4 साल लगाए हैं अपनी स्किल्स को शार्प करने में, अपनी स्किल्स को बेस्ट ऑफ द बेस्ट बनाने में। तो you need to work, right? As soon as you graduate, just start working. It doesn't matter if it's your field, just start working. आप एक फील्ड में होपफुली अपनी फील्ड में आपको जॉब मिला, आप उसमें काम शुरू कर दो। और एज अ साइड हॉबी, लाइक आई मेंशन, राइट, ये प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं जिनमें आप जाके अपनी, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू आर सिविल इंजीनियर, मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर, आप अपनी यूआई यूएक्स पे अगर आपको शौक हो, डिजाइनिंग का शौक हो, आई थिंक बसीरुद्दीन साहब डिजाइनिंग के बारे में बात भी करेंगे, लेकिन आप उसको ज्यादा अपना होन कर सकते हो। अगर आपको कंप्यूटर वाली साइड पे आना है, आप थोड़ी डेटा एनालिसिस सीख सकते हो। डेटा एनालिसिस इज अ वेरी गुड स्टेपिंग स्टोन इनटू द आईटी वर्ल्ड, राइट? क्योंकि आपको टैबलो, पावर बीआई, ये सब विजुअलाइजेशन टूल्स हैं। यू कैन स्टार्ट विद दैट, यू कैन स्लोली ईज योर वे इनटू एसक्यूएल एंड ऑल द अदर स्टफ, राइट? तो आप अपनी जॉब एक साइड पे करते रहो और साइड प्रोजेक्ट्स करते रहो, ताकि आपका स्किल्स भी बनते रहें और आपका नेटवर्किंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, क्योंकि आप जितना अच्छा काम करोगे उन साइट्स पे, आपकी उतनी ही अच्छी रिपोर्ट बनते रहेगी। सो मेक श्योर यू कीप वर्किंग, राइट? और सिर्फ एक दो पे नहीं अटक जाना है आपने, आप मल्टीपल एक्सप्लोर करो। फाइवर, अपवर्क, तो ये तो हम उसके बारे में बता रहे हैं, आप और सोचो और ढूंढो, क्योंकि जरूरी नहीं कि इन सब पे सैचुरेशन भी होते जा रही है आहिस्ता आहिस्ता। तो यू कैन stand apart, maybe for example target an up and coming platform जहां पे remote work मिल रहा हो, go to that, वहां पे जाके अपने skills को show off करो, right? And don't forget LinkedIn, I will keep saying this, is the biggest platform for jobs. Freelancers maybe not so much, लेकिन अगर आपको, जैसे मैंने मेंशन किया था, रिमोट पार्ट टाइम एम्प्लॉय या फुल टाइम एम्प्लॉय, राइट? अगर आपको पार्ट टाइम जॉब्स चाहिए और फुल टाइम चाहिए, फुली रिमोट, गो टू लिंक्डइन। वहां पे आप सर्च में डालें रिमोट जॉब्स, वहां पे आप सर्च में फिल्टर भी कर सकते हैं ना, फुली रिमोट है जो भी हो, या फिर अगर आपको पार्ट टाइम करने, वहां पे पार्ट टाइम का भी फिल्टर डाल सकते हैं। Look up jobs, apply through LinkedIn, and also the thing that I mentioned before, apply करने के बाद, to stand out, find a recruiter who works within that company that you're applying to, reach out to him via email, try connecting to him at first, अगर नहीं connect हो पाता फिर email के through आप reach out करो, और उसमें अच्छी सी प्यारी सी जरा अपने आप को market करो, right? That's the goal. You have to market yourself. That's it basically, right? If you get, ये basically मैं आपको message देना चाह रहा हूँ कि keep working on your skills, learn to market yourself, learn to develop better soft skills. Because soft skills or marketing abilities, अपने आप की especially, goes a long way. It's something that's ubiquitous through every work that you do. Right. मैंने काफी बोर कर दिया होगा, सवाल जवाब कर लेता हूँ.
Wonderful work, mashallah. Thank you so much, Mr. Muntasar. This was amazing, mashallah. I think give him a thumbs up if you really liked the session, and then raise your hand, raise the roof, raise your hand, and let's see for our speakers and Maria as well, mashallah. I also wanna, if you could raise your hand, yes, and then we'll go into the question and answer. ठीक है, तो पहला सवाल ले लेते हैं. Let's be focused on the specific topic. ठीक है, unlocking remote work. तो मलिक जुल्करनैन साहब जी फरमाइए.
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि जो आपने प्लेटफॉर्म्स बताए सर, इनमें सैचुरेशन बहुत ज़्यादा हो गई है, तो इनमें सर पहला प्रोजेक्ट कैसे लिया जाए, उसके लिए क्या क्या सर हमें करना पड़ेगा, ये प्लीज थोड़ा गाइड कर दें.
देखो, मैंने तो एक चीज एंड में कही ना कि मैंने खुद एक्नॉलेज किया इस चीज को कि इसमें सैचुरेशन हो चुकी है, लेकिन ऐसे 50 और प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं, उनको एक्सप्लोर करो, उनको टारगेट करो, राइट. लेकिन अगर आपको इसी में रहना है तो ऑनेस्टली आई वुड से कि आप जो प्रोजेक्ट्स ढूंढ रहे हो ना, वो प्रॉब्ली वो प्रोजेक्ट्स होंगे जिन पे बहुत ज्यादा लोग अप्लाई कर रहे होंगे. सो स्टार्ट ऑफ विद समथिंग स्मॉल. जरूरी नहीं कि आपको काम पसंद हो. अभी आपका बेसिकली मकसद ये है कि आपने अपनी प्रोफाइल को स्ट्रॉन्ग करना है, आपने अपने रिव्यूज लेने हैं बेसिकली, कि आपको रिपोर्ट बनानी है अपनी. यार हाँ, मैं क्लाइंट्स का बेशक कोई भी काम हो, जब आप कोई भी काम कंप्लीट करके दोगे ना, तो आपके पास फॉर एग्जाम्पल असाइनमेंट्स ले लो. यार असाइनमेंट करने शुरू कर दो. अभी अभी आप फ्रेश ग्रेजुएट हो, आप तो बहुत इजीली कर लोगे. आप असाइनमेंट कंप्लीट करोगे, आपकी रेटिंग अच्छी होगी, आहिस्ता आहिस्ता आप प्लेटफॉर्म में भी क्लाइम करना शुरू करोगे. तो वंस यूर एट अ स्टेज कि आपके पास सफिशिएंट रेटिंग्स होंगी, फिर पीपल कैन नॉट इग्नोर यू, राइट. जब आपके पास है रेटिंग्स, people know that you're someone who will get the work done, फिर आप इग्नोर नहीं होगे. शुरू में I know it's tough, I know it's saturated, that's why I said at the end कि आप और भी प्लेटफॉर्म एक्सप्लोर करो, सिर्फ इन पे लिमिटेड ना रहो. तो that would be probably my suggestion.
Thank you again. This is wonderful. Any other questions, please raise your hand. Okay, we'll go to Mr. Baseeruddin next, and inshallah, if you have any questions, do leave them, put them in the chat, and we will work with those, inshallah. And again, this is amazing. मैं भी सीख रहा हूँ बहुत, मैं भी समझ रहा हूँ, inshallah. आपको आपने प्रोफाइल बनानी है, चैट जीपीटी को इस्तेमाल करना सीखना है, आपने लिंक्डइन को इस्तेमाल करना है. हमारे पास जो सेशंस हैं on the website, you could look at those sessions too, जिसमें हमने ट्रेनिंग दी है लोगों को, and you could learn from there. But first step you must take is you have to fix your CV, resume, and make a profile. ये पहला स्टेप है जो आपको सीखना होगा इंशाल्लाह. ठीक है, तो आप देर मत कीजिएगा कि बना लूंगा, हो जाएगा, कोई ना कोई कर लेंगे, जुगाड़ लगा लेंगे, राइट. तो ये काम हो जाएगा, लेकिन आपने शुरू करना है. ठीक है, आप इंस्पायर हैं अभी, तो आपने फर्स्ट स्टेप लेना है जैसे ही हम ये खत्म करेंगे इंशाल्लाह सेशन. ठीक है, तो with that inshallah, let's go to Mr. Muhammad Baseeruddin. He's joining us, mashallah, and I really appreciate he's somebody, again, from mechanical engineering background, so he could give you more information, graduating work, again, similar to all these young speakers that we have. And so, I really appreciate him joining us. ठीक है, तो आपसे इंशाल्लाह शुरू करते हैं. मोहम्मद बसीरुद्दीन साहब, आप शेयर कर सकते हैं अपनी स्लाइड्स. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, all guys, and it was a wonderful event, and I gave the seminar like 2 days ago in the university, and it was a wonderful event also. And I think basically most of you guys are from mechanical or some technical background, and okay, let me share my screen. Hello. Yeah. Okay. Can you see it?
Yes, Basiruddin Saab, you can get started. Thank you.
Okay. Let me go back here. Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. So I am a technical person, and as a graduate from mechanical engineering, I was trying to get into the designing side of the mechanical engineering, but unfortunately we don't have that much companies and jobs available in Pakistan related to designer as a mechanical engineer. So I was very passionate about that, and because of that dream, I didn't get a job anywhere, and I have to like up my skills so I can be in some category of the designing side. And it took me like 4 to 5 years to get there. I graduated in 2019, and I started building my skills. And as a mechanical engineer, we don't have that much opportunity during the bachelor's to learn softwares that we use in the international market. So I did some certifications, which most of you already know. From the civil engineering side and electrical engineering side, we have some softwares, SolidWorks, Revit, and AutoCAD, and different types of softwares. And we just go through them like very very short. Like there will be some courses during the um, 2 months of we have the leave or something, and you can pick up that course from some teacher that we have in the mechanical department, and they provide the courses and give you some no like give you some understanding about the softwares. But that is not enough if you go in the mechanical engineering designing side. So I have to up my skills, and I have to learn a lot of softwares. I was unemployed for approximately I think 6 to 8 months, because I cannot get the job in Pakistan, and I cannot. I don't want to go in the maintenance side and the health safety side of the mechanical engineering. So I did some certifications, and after that, I like job hunt on the freelancing platforms. Like we have Fiverr, Upwork, Freelancer, and other sites. And what I see there is actually like the things, the jobs that we have there, and the softwares they need. We don't have any of that skill in our bachelor's degree, or like we haven't heard about anything about like. So there are a lot of software combinations that go in the mechanical engineering side, and I think it is same like that for uh, computer science side and some other areas of the engineering. I don't know much about that, but I think it is like that everywhere. Okay, so I picked up some top sailors and top freelancers there from the website, and I saw their profiles and saw that they are providing multiple software techniques, or like multiple softwares and multiple skills, and some product designing things, some mechanical engineering things. So it's kind of combination of skills that we don't have. Okay, so uh, I learned that during my journey. And now on my screen you can see some projects. Like some of them are related to mechanical engineering, some of them are related to marketing side, some for the jewelry side, some for the printing side, 3D printing side. I started my own company for 3D printing here in Pakistan, and I've been like doing that for past 3 to 4 years. And with that company I am still working on the freelancing side, and I am getting designing jobs there, and I have my team here. Like the speaker Muntasir told that there are some people that are like getting the jobs from the clients, their old clients, and like doing the jobs here in Pakistan. They have multiple teams. I am kind of that guy, and I have my clients like 400, 500 clients that I've been working with. And some of them are permanent clients, some of them are like one time clients, some of them are like they give you like 300 uh, like you can get that idea. Like or not all of them are like permanent clients, some of them are just for the contractual based work. So I've been taking the jobs from them. I've been doing some of them myself, because I am like the owner of the company, and all the people under me are trained by me, and they are like doing some low skill work, and I have been assigning the jobs to them. So they are like getting small jobs done, and I'm going on the bigger projects, and with that I'm running my 3D printing startup here. Okay, so I've dive into product designing side as a mechanical engineer, and which is like a very good side of a mechanical engineer. You have a knowledge how to manufacture the things, how to go for the final products. As a mechanical engineer, you know about the uh, techniques and the manufacturing machines, and how the process are working in the industries, but you don't know how to make the product. So if you connect both of these together, we have a very big area where you can work as a mechanical engineer, and you can make the products just for some investors if they want to showcase their product and get some fundings from somewhere, so they can go for the manufacturing side. If they don't get any fundings, they will just pay you and they will get out of that product. Okay, so it's also like that. So you have to make some visual things like I did. And I've been going in rendering animation techniques and other things. So as a mechanical engineer, I am doing the parametric software design thing, and after that I'm going for the Blender and Maya and other softwares which are not technically in the mechanical engineering, but they are kind of be related to the mechanical engineering if you go in the product designing side. Okay, so that is the overview of how the things going on in this field. So freelance as a mechanical engineer, we have a lot of opportunities. Like I talked about, we have a lot of softwares, we have a lot of things, but to get there you have to develop some skill set there. And you don't have any portfolio when you enter the market. You don't know how to hunt the jobs, and you don't know anything about that. So how will you do that? Okay, so these are the three of the platforms are from the other two presenters, Maria and Muntashir, but there are three more added from my side. And you will have I think 50s or more than 50 platforms already in the market. So you can go, you can check anywhere. For me, I've been working on Fiverr and Upwork. I did 400 plus projects in the past 4 or 5 years. I think 500. It crossed 500 now. So I've been using Fiverr and Upwork only, and these are 6 major platforms, and some of the platforms that other two presenters show you. So there are a lot of opportunities. You cannot say I am not getting a job on the Fiverr and I'm not getting job on Upwork. Why didn't you try for the freelancer and people per hour or guru.com? So there are a lot of things you have to uh, go through yourself with these things. For everybody the story is different. Okay, you might have some skill set that other people don't have, so you have to check for your requirements and your niche, and how you can deliver the work in your field, and which platform have most of your type of projects. So that is the thing you have to search out. Okay, and this is the thing that can increase your knowledge a lot. As a freelancer, as a mechanical engineer, I can say I still need those books that I read in the bachelor. I have all 40 of the major courses books at my office, and I have to read every one of them when I'm designing something. So my knowledge has increased per folds. If I will compare myself when I was in the bachelor's and when I was in the master's. Okay, so I did my master's in the design engineering also, which is related to mechanical engineering, but I connected product designing and mechanical engineering in a way that we can use both of the sides of the field. Okay, so you can work as a remote engineer, like Muntashir told about. And I've been working as a remote engineer a lot. I've been to other cities, and I just bring my laptop there, and I can work from there. I can assign my employees work from Lahore, Islamabad to Karachi, and they can work. And let me tell you, they don't have to be here at the office. They can work from home. If they are sick, they can do that work at home. So they are also a freelancers, but they are under one roof, and we all are working in the field. But yeah, it's a little bit different kind of thing. But yeah, all of the people can work remotely, and you guys can also work remotely. I am also working remotely. Okay, so we can go through this some of the fields that you can work on as a mechanical engineer, or maybe as a civil engineer. Maybe you have the civil engineer guys have the same kind of softwares and things that they can do. So in the CAD side, we have some SolidWorks softwares and other softwares which you can work on the freelancing sites. Of course, you will not be doing the maintenance thing uh, on the freelancing platforms, because for the maintenance you have to be in the industry. and you have to be on the site. So you have to select a skill that you think that can work remotely. Every skill cannot be every type of life field, every subcategory of the field, it is not possible to work on as a freelancer, because some of the fields you need to be on the site. Okay, so for the CAD work, you can do that remotely very easily. CAM work is the end category of the CAD. If you know CAD, you will be doing the CAM work. Otherwise, you cannot do the CAD. You cannot do the CAM side. Okay, and after that we have some CAE, which is related to simulations and other things, and structural designing, which is same for like mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, and they, I think they also have the structural designing thing in their courses, and the simulation thing also in the civil engineer, I think, and they have some BIM on the Revit, and I don't know much about that, but I think they have this kind of category there, so they can do that work. And the next category we have is the HVAC and the robotics. In the HVAC, the civil engineer guys have the planning and other things, and the front elevation and the top views they do for in the Revit and CAD software. So they have this category also. And the robotic side, it is like kind of mechanical, electrical side and programming side. So if you are design, as a robotics person, as a technical person, I work on the projects, on the products that you can use in the robotics. I did a lot of work on the robotics and biomechanical side, biomedical side, and so all these categories, they are the subfields of mechanical engineering, and some of them are like closely related to civil engineering, electrical engineering. uh, some of them can be like used in the programming side also. So all these categories have a good side on the different multiple platforms, and you can work on them very easily. And so let's talk about how we can develop our skill set there. Okay, so you should have a strong background if you are going in the designing side, because you are dealing with a lot of products and a lot of industrial things. So like it is not necessary, but it is a good practice if you have a good educational background. As a mechanical engineer, I think you need a very good knowledge about the designing side and the manufacturing process side. So if you don't have that, uh, you can learn about that later on. But yeah, it will be good if you are, because a lot of you guys are already in the bachelor, so you can find your niche. You can just focus on the thing that you want to go, and you can learn about that during your bachelors, and you can have some certifications about those things. And you can also go through a lot of platforms and check about the field that you want to work in, and you can see the freelancers. Like I told you, I have searched a lot of freelancers when I get into this mechanical design side, and I just check their skills, how the skills that they are providing, uh, and what I need to do to like what skills I need for completing the jobs. Okay, so you can do that on your own, and with that you can learn a lot of missing skill set that you have, and you can get better in that. Okay, so it is a very simple way of creating your skill set, and you will get very good after doing this for 3-4 years. So it is on your you have to do this on your own. Okay, no one gonna tell you do this and do that. It depends on how you want to go, how you want to work, and in which field you want to work in. Okay, so it all depends on you. So the next thing we have portfolio building. Okay.
What's your
Yeah.
name? Just a time check. 5 more minutes, inshallah, as we wrap up. Thank you.
Okay. So for the portfolio building, you can just showcase your practice projects and other things, and you can uh, show your best simulation results, and make your profile. And you can after making the profile, you can just upload that profile on the freelancing sites, whatever the requirements of the freelancing site. And with that, you can start doing the project hunting. Okay, and in the project hunting, there are some key points that I mentioned here. Don't like take the risks, like the jobs that you cannot do, never apply for that. just apply for the job that you are sure that like you can do 85, 80%, 90%, and don't go for something like I cannot do that, but I can probably learn that, and maybe I have a person who can work on that thing, and I can hire that person and do that. It will get you in trouble later on. But the best way is to don't take that type of jobs. Okay. And always try to have a meeting with the client. And I always go with the Zoom meeting, and it is very easy for a person to know about, like he can know about you. He can judge you from the way of talk, and he can judge you from the things you are showing. You can show the presentations to them. So it will get very easier when you try to set up a meeting on the Zoom. Okay. So I think it's a good thing, and maybe the other two speakers will agree with that. Like you have to do meetings very regularly to like have some good projects there. Okay. So after that, there are some projects that I showed here, like these one you can see the, like this is from the Upwork, which is one of the best platform. And you can see we have a lot of multiple, like a lot of softwares that are available on the bottom side of that. So you can see SolidWorks, 3D modeling, AutoCAD, 3D design, mechanical designing, digital design. You at the start you might not have all those skills, but you need to develop that. When you are searching for the job, you have to see which job you can do, like which job can closely go to your field, and which softwares you already know, which side of field you already know. If you don't have all of these categories, like you have 80% of them, you can apply that and you can learn the remaining 21 during the project. But you can get the idea from a lot of projects, a lot of already existing projects, that where you are at this position and now, like what is your current skill set. Okay. So that is an important thing. And after that, we have some quality assurance things, like you have to talk about your delivery times. Like if you are dealing with a client and you are in the meeting, you have to make sure that he will get the things on the time. And a lot of Pakistani people, they don't have this habit to uh, give things on the time, and projects, deliver the projects, and meet the deadlines. That is very important thing. You have to be on time when you are dealing with the international clients. Okay. And you have to ask a lot of questions for the project, like whatever you can, and whatever you are thinking that could happen during the project. If there are some things that you think like not suitable for this type of work, you can tell the client directly, and probably he will be very happy with you, and he can give you some more projects later on, because you gave him some valuable opinions, and maybe it can save a lot of time and a lot of money for him also. So and you have to provide the you can provide testimonials. And that is a after thing. Like if you have some one or two projects that you did very good, you can take the testimonials of those clients and you can show that on your profile, and it will help you a lot in landing the new projects later on. Okay. And you can get the reviews, you can put that, you can make your portfolio website, you can put all of those very good reviews that you get, and put that there on the website. So people can see, people can know how you do the work, and what are the responses of other clients for you. And of course this will help you a lot when you are trying to apply for the new opportunities. And next, we have some basic approach. You can capture this screen and you can understand it. So it's basically you have an idea, you can brainstorm that idea, create a product sketch for that idea, then you go for the 3D modeling. So from my point of view, 3D modeling is very important. If you go with the mechanical engineering, CAD, and civil engineering, electrical engineering, because it is the root of everything. Like you can go directly to the prototyping processes or simulation, and then you go for the manufacturing. Or if you want to go through the investor process, like where you need to do the marketing, and like the client have to show some investors the idea, so they need some visual representations like you do in renderings and animations. So the bottom category we have is related to like the product designing, and the top category related to mechanical designing. So we can connect both of those. Okay, and it's very easy. You create the visuals and then you go for the prototyping if the product or the investors are ready to invest on the project. Okay, so it is a center tool, like the product sketching or product designing is a center tool for connecting 3D modeling and engineering processes and like that. Okay, so you can take the screenshot if you like, and it will be helpful. And I'll wrap this up with some key takeaways. So you can do freelancing in approximately every field, and you have to build your skill set uh, according to that field. Okay, and always be on time, give best quality that you can, and never take the risks that you are not meant to take. And don't rely on other people, like don't rely on your friends if they are telling you they can do the job for you. Never rely on them, because most of the things get bad later on, and you have to manage your time, which is very important as a freelancer, because you will have a lot of opportunities, a lot of projects, and you have to track everything. So later on, maybe you get like 30 projects, 40 projects, and you have to write down everything, like which deadline project I have to meet first, and then we have to do that. So that is very important thing, and you have a lot of freedom in that, but you have to manage. Okay, and that's all from my side. If you have any questions, you can ask, and I will be happy to answer.
Thank you, Mr.